Hey guys, this is my very first live stream. My name is Duane with howtobuildcredittv.com. And in this live stream, I'm going to be talking about the credit score. So there are a lot of misconceptions about the credit score, and hopefully in this video, I can kind of shine some light and clear up any kind of misconception that there is regarding our credit score. So once again, my name is Duane with How to Build Credit TV, and on this channel, we talk about everything you need to know about credit, credit cards, and how to make money using credit cards. So if this sounds like something in which you're interested, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. So when it comes to our credit score, there are a lot of just wrong information out there. And so hopefully with this video, this is going to be a Q&A in regards to the credit score. I'm going to go over the 5 categories that make up our credit score, and I'll try my best to answer any questions that you guys may have about the credit score. So right now, I'm actually doing this live stream from Texas. If you join the live stream, let me know from where you're watching. Let me know the state you're watching from or country, depending on where you are. So like I said, this is my very, very first live stream, and hopefully I can provide some value to you guys. You guys have helped me a lot and have subscribed to the channel, and I appreciate that. That's helped this channel grow quite a bit. And so I definitely want to make sure that I give back in any way that I know how to, as much as I can. So bear with me here as I go through this live stream. I don't really know what's what and where options are and stuff like that. So bear with me as I'm, trying to basically navigate through this. So if you can hear me, if you're watching, go ahead and let me know. Say hi to me. Like I said, let me know from where you're watching, and that would be really cool so that I know that somebody is out here watching this particular live stream. Anyway, so this is about, like I said, the credit score. So our credit score is comprised of 5 different categories. And of course, each of those categories have a different weight in regards to the credit score. And so it is my goal to, go through these 5 categories. So I have 2 people watching. Hey guys, this is Duane from howtobuildcredittv.com. Let me know from where you're watching. And hopefully if you have any questions about the credit score or credit in general, I'll try my best to answer the questions. If you're watching the video, like I said, let me know from where you're watching. There might be a delay. This is my very first time doing a live stream. So, hey, Wolf Village Videos from LA. Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Like I said, let me know from where you're watching, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you may have about the credit score or credit in general. So, like I said, the credit score has 5 different categories, and each of those categories have a different weight. Hi, last name Patel, watching from VA. Hi, Camera Talk 305 from Miami. Thanks, guys. What's going on, D. Anderson? Thank you, sir, for watching. And we got Nora King. Thank you very much. This is my first live. That's why you've never caught me live. So hopefully I'll be able to. We got 15 people watching, 14 people watching. Cool. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you like this channel and you like the value that I've given so far. Hopefully I'll continue to provide videos that will be helpful. So in this video, we're talking about the credit score. Once again, there's 5 categories that make up the credit score. And I'll just kind of go through the categories and kind of the weight that each category has. So, hey, that's pretty cool, D. You got that Navy Federal Cash Rewards Visa card. Cool. Very cool. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about getting another credit card here. I'm thinking about getting the SPG card from American Express. I really shouldn't get any more cards because I got 6 from August, September, and November. I really got 4 cards initially in August, and then I added another one, and then I got the American Express Gold card. So cool. We have 16 people watching. This is a lot better. Thank you, sir, for watching my videos. Last name Brutus. I don't want to butcher anybody's name. I apologize for butchering people's names. So we have 20 people watching. Cool. Like I said, if you like the channel and you like what the channel's about, give me a thumbs up so that I know that you guys are appreciating that. So that's pretty cool. Hey, good job, man. You're in the 700s in the Fico score. Nice. Cool. The Discover It's Secure card. Love that card. Cool that your credit score has gone from 540 to 623 so far. So that is really awesome. So yeah, like I said, in this live, I'm going to be talking about the credit score. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get into the credit score And like I said, 5 categories. So the very first category in the credit score is going to be payment history. And payment history is huge. It is 35% of our overall credit score. And initially, if you're starting off and you're trying to get a good credit score, it's easy to kind of build up your credit score real quickly here. So like I said, the payment history is 35% of the score. And hey, what's going on, Junior from South Cali? Cool. Thanks for joining us, man. And so this part, I think, is the easiest part. The payment history is the easiest part to get correct right off the bat, right? But if for some reason, if you're like me, currently my payment history is like 95, 96. And according to Credit Karma, the app, that's actually not very good. But the thing is, I've had some credit issues in the past, and now I'm kind of working through that. So even though it's at 95 and it's not quite at 100%, so I'm not able to get all 35% out of the credit, sorry, not the credit, but the payment history, which is 35% of our credit score, it's still okay. I mean, if I'm getting 30% out of 35%, then that's okay. So payment history, like I said, makes up 35% of your credit score. Hey, by the way, if you guys are watching and you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. I will do my best to answer as soon as I see them here. I'm sure there's probably a delay, so be patient with me. Like I said, this is my very first live stream. So the payment history is 35% of your credit score. It's pretty simple. Just about anything that you make monthly payments on can affect your credit score and probably will be reported to the credit bureau. So, you know, like cell phones, your cable bill, your credit card, your personal loans, your house loans. I mean, it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Anything that there's a payment. Thanks, James. Thank you for watching, man. Anything that you make a monthly payment to clearly is going to affect you if they report it to the credit bureau. And if they report it as you not paying, that's going to affect your payment history, which once again is 35%. This is the biggest portion of our credit score, the payment history. The next biggest chunk of the payment score is credit utilization. Now, credit utilization is actually 30% of our credit score. So if you add payment history, which is 35, and then you add credit utilization, which is 30, right there in those two categories, that is 65% of your credit score. And so for me personally, I spent a lot of time focusing on those two categories in case somebody wants to build their credit score, because those two are the biggest chunk that make up our overall credit score. Payment history is 35%. Credit utilization is 30%. So credit utilization basically refers to how much of your available credit limit are you currently using. So if I had a credit card and that credit card had $1,000 credit limit on it, and I was using $500 out of that $1,000 for the credit limit, then clearly I would be using 50%. That's 50% of my overall credit. So that would not be good. In order to get the 30% that makes up credit utilization, you need to be at 0%. So in other words, I know that's kind of tricky, but basically what I do personally is I use my credit cards just normal. I use them every single month. And what I do is I basically pay my cards off maybe once every 2 weeks. And I'm kind of hoping that when I pay the card that the balance is 0, and the credit card reports to the credit bureau at the time when the balance is 0. Now, I don't freak out about it because I have a lot of available credit limit. I think my overall credit limit across all 13 or 12 of my credit cards is $65,000. That's not necessarily a lot, but it's a lot compared to somebody else. And of course, it's not a lot compared to others as well. So, hey, real quickly, let me see if I can answer some questions here. So, okay, sure. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Camera Talks 305. Mikey T says, should I pay my full balance before or after the statement closes on a higher credit score? Me personally, Mikey, man, what I do is I just pay my credit card bill once every 2 weeks. And so that way I stay on top of it. I definitely will advise paying in full. That's what I do because it just makes sense. And that way I don't have to worry about interest at all. What's going on, the Credit Card Maestro? Thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate that. I like your channel, love your channel. Guys, if you're watching this video, go ahead and check out the Credit Card Maestro's channel. Really cool channel, gives a lot of value and a lot of good stuff in regards to credit cards and traveling. As a matter of fact, I need to learn some stuff regarding that. So I'm excited getting to do that. So if you're watching the video, check out the Credit Card Maestro's channel. Really good channel, really good dude. All right, so back to the credit score. So once again, you have credit utilization, which is 30% of the overall credit score. So if I'm using $500 and I have $1,000 credit limit, I would be using 50% of my overall credit limit, and that is not good. So you want to make sure, if you want to get the maximum 30% out of the credit utilization category, you want to make sure that you have your balance be between 0% and 10%. So if you had $1,000 credit limit, that would be between $0 and $100. So if you're going to leave anything at all on that particular card, you want to make sure that the balance, if you leave any balance at all on the card, is no more than $100, because $100 would be 10% of a credit limit of $1,000. So there's a lot of misconceptions about the credit utilization. A lot of people think that as long as you use 30%, as long as you're 30%, you're good. And 30% is not bad. However, if you want to get a bigger portion of the 30% that makes up the credit utilization, you want to definitely make sure you're between 0%. If you are using 0% credit utilization, clearly you're going to get the overall 30% that you can get out of that credit utilization category, which is the second biggest part of our credit score. So just real quickly to recap, I talked about two portions of the credit score. I talked about payment history, which is 35%, and then I talked about credit utilization, which is 30%. So those two are really, really huge. So I'm really psyched about the fact that for my first live stream, I have 32 people watching. Guys, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I don't see any thumbs up here. I'm not sure if this is live or not as far as the thumbs up here, but at least one of y'all give it a thumbs up so I can know. It's currently on 0, so I'm just kind of curious if it's going to move at all. But like I said, so you have the 5 categories. And so I talked about payment history, 35%. And then now credit utilization is 30%. The next category on this is going to be the average age of credit. And the average age of credit is 15. That is 15% of your overall credit score. Yeah, Nor King, 800 credit score is hard to get. And the reason why an 800 credit score is hard to get is because some of the things that the credit score is built on has to do with time. For example, you need to have, which I'm talking about the average age of credit, you need to have, for the average age of credit, you need to have credit established for 8+ years. The overall average needs to be 8+ years. So not that you need to have an account that's open for 8 years, but you need to, hey, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. But you need to actually have the average be 8 years and more. So right now, I'm currently 40 years old, and I kick myself all the time when I think about, like, man, what would it be like to actually have a credit card from when I was in college? Because that would have been like real sweet. Like, I had an American Express card back in college. I had a Discover card back in college. I had a Sony, I think it was a Citibank card. On that card, I had a $12,000 limit. And it was ridiculous that I had a $12,000 limit as a college kid, because clearly, you know, what was I doing with that? So once again, on the average age of credit, you need it to be 8+ years. Okay. So 8+ years. And once you do that, then it would be a lot easier, because then you would get the 15%. That's 15% that makes up our the overall average age of credit. So you would have 35% from payment history. You would have 30% from credit utilization. That's 65. Then you would have 15% from average age of credit. That is 80%. So you would be a lot closer to getting that 800 score, which is clearly, you know, it's clearly hard to do. So that portion of it, you can't flub it. You just have to wait, and you have to be patient. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think we all messed up our credit score in college, to be honest with you, or credit in college. I know I did. And it wasn't because I was out there being, you know, irresponsible. You know, life just happened. I needed to fix my tire. I needed to fix my car. And as a college kid with no job, but I had this credit card with a $12,000 limit, you better believe I'm going to fix my tire. You better believe I'm going to fix my car, right? So, you know, it's just about being able to rebuild your credit now. Now I'm in a position where I know what's going on with the credit score, and I know each category that makes up our credit score. And so that's kind of what the purpose of this particular video is. So quick recap, there's payment history, 35%, credit utilization, 30%. Then you have average age of credit, which is 15%, okay, which has to be 8+ years. Now, all the things I'm talking about right now, you can actually see this for yourself when you download the Credit Karma app. I use Credit Karma, I use NerdWallet, and I also have CreditWise. In addition to having those tools, I actually am able to get my FICO score from the different credit cards. So of course, you know that I have the Discover card, I have a Citibank card, I have Bank of America, I have American Express, I have a Chase card. Every single one of those cards provide you the opportunity to see your FICO score. So I would advise you, if you don't have a credit card where you can look at your FICO score, be sure to get Credit Karma, because these tools are there for free. And the more that you kind of enlighten yourself, or get hip to what the actual credit score is based on, the more you can kind of tweak each category and kind of see how it affects you. Okay, so once again, you have 15% for the overall average age of credit, and then the next category is going to be hard inquiries or new credit, and that is 10%. That is 10% of our overall credit. So that, believe it or not, I mean, it's small. I mean, 10% is really small, out of 100%, but it makes a difference. And here's why I know. In August, I applied for several credit cards. Between August and October, I applied for 6 cards. So I applied for the American Express Blue Cash Everyday card. That was the first card I applied for. And then I applied for the Discover It card. I did both of those applications in the same day. And then the very next day, I went ahead and applied for the Citibank Double Cash card. And then after that, I applied for, what was it? I want to say the US Bank Cash Plus card. I think that's right. And then I waited a little bit, and then I think in September I applied for the Bank of America Cash Rewards card. And then in October I didn't want to do it, but I was like, man, let me go ahead and apply for this American Express Gold card, because I wanted to see what the hype was about. I hadn't had a travel card. I was waiting because I was like, well, I'm not going to do any major traveling until, maybe 2020. So I was like, I'll kind of wait for that. So when I applied for all of those cards, at 6 credit card inquiries, that really hit my credit score pretty bad. And it's crazy because, Vera Walker, I love my Discover card and Capital One cards as well. It really hit my credit score pretty hard. And I was kind of surprised, to be honest with you. My credit score was around 765 when I was applying for these cards. And of course, the credit score is going to be different based on different credit bureaus. And the reason why it's different is because clearly, if I apply for 3 credit cards and all 3 of those cards use TransUnion, they're going to pull from TransUnion, right? And so that means that that's not going to affect Equifax or Experian. So that's why your credit score can be different, because like the different cards use different credit bureaus. Okay, so when you notice that, oh man, why is my credit score like 20 points lower here? That may be because that credit bureau has a different record of what's going on with your credit report. So for me personally, on my TransUnion, I have a lot of inquiries. I think I have like 8 right now. And I'm like, damn, how do I have 8? Like, I don't remember applying for 8, but whatever. So I had 8, okay? And then on my Equifax, I have 0. And I'm like, okay, so apparently nobody uses Equifax, which is pretty crazy. So once again, the new accounts or hard inquiries makes up 10% of your overall credit score, which is not a big deal, but just be careful. And the hard inquiries are going to stay on your credit report for 2 years. So that means after 2 years, it'll automatically fall off of your credit report, which is really cool. And technically, that means that you can get all 10% of that particular category. So just a quick recap. So far, I covered 4 categories. I talked about payment history, which is 35%, credit utilization, which is 30%. Then I talked about average age of credit, which is the average age of all your credit accounts. That is 15%. And then after that, I talked about hard inquiries or new credit accounts or new types of account. Okay, and that is 10%. The last thing that makes up our credit score is going to be the credit mix or types of credit. So types of credit is basically exactly that. It's different types of credit, right? So a different type of credit would be like your credit cards, your car loan. Another kind would be like a personal loan or a mortgage, right? So that would be different types of credit. Hey, Cesar, regarding the Uber Visa card, I think it's a solid card, man. I honestly, if I could just like sit here and apply for a bunch of cards, I would. I'm really trying to be patient and I'm really trying to be like, you know what? I'm going to chill because I really want to kind of get into the Chase ecosystem. I don't have any Chase card. No, I'm kidding. I have one Chase card. I have the Chase Freedom card, but I really kind of wanted, you know, like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, of course, because everybody has that card, even though it's not as appealing now because the Amex Gold card is pretty sweet and that $250 is a lot less than the $450 for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. So I want to be patient and you know, just kind of chill and not get any more inquiries for a while. But honestly, I'm really thinking about applying for the SPG card for American Express because after February the 12th, they're going to be doing away with that card, and some of the features and benefits that that card offers is not going to be it's not going to be available. So I really want to make sure that I really think about it because I think my credit score is going to go all the way back up to like 763 in the next couple of months. According to the different apps that I use, they kind of calculate, hey, your credit score is going to go up if you continue to pay just like you are and continue on the course that you're on now. Your credit score will go up back up to like 763, 765, which is pretty good. I mean, it really doesn't need to be much higher than that because once you're up there, it's pretty much, you know, you're pretty much golden. Hey, Jason, man, my thoughts on Self-Lender. I think Self-Lender is pretty good. Me personally, I am a secured card fan, clearly. I made a lot of videos talking about secured card. I had a really good experience, especially with Discover Card. But I don't think anything's necessarily wrong with Self-Lender. As far as I'm concerned, Self-Lender is not a lot different from Discover Card. I mean, it is. I personally wouldn't do it, but I don't think anything is wrong with it per se. What do I think about adding authorized users to build their credit, Keith? I think it's dope, man. Authorized user, believe it or not, it works. I mean, I've done it myself and it works. You can help somebody. Of course, you're going to help somebody if, you know, like the person that you're adding, let's say I wanted to be an authorized user on my dad's account. Now, it's not going to help me if my dad has, you know, a high credit utilization. Let's say he had a $10,000 credit limit, but he has an $8,000 balance on that card. It wouldn't make sense for me to be an authorized user on that card because, of course, I would be adapting his credit profile, and that's not going to be a good look for me. So it would be like I owe $8,000. However, with that same $10,000 card, if he had that card, then if he had, you know, no money on it at all, but he had a $10,000 limit, it would be to my benefit to be an authorized user on that card because that way it would look like I have $10,000 and I would adapt his particular credit profile, which would help me. And more importantly, it would help my overall credit utilization. So it would bump up my credit utilization, which would be really, really cool. So that's kind of what I feel about authorized users. By the way, in case I don't answer your questions in the live chat because this is my very first live stream, please forgive me. I'm trying to concentrate on you guys here, and then I'm trying to read the chat here and, you know, do my best to answer the questions. So forgive me if I don't answer your questions, okay? It's not because I don't want to, it's just because it's kind of tricky doing the live chat. So, so once again, yeah, the last category would be credit mix, which is 10% of your overall. And credit mix, like I said, credit mix refers to your, you know, credit card, your personal loan, your home loan, just different types of credit. And believe it or not, 10% once again that's not big at all. I mean, it's 10% is nothing. Okay. So in reality, I don't want you guys to go out and say, man, well, you know, Duane was like, hey, 10%, you know, I need this 10%. So therefore I need to go get a personal loan. I need to go get I can't spoke. I need to go ahead and get a credit card. I need to go ahead and get a home loan because I need to make sure that I have different types of credit, right? So once again, don't freak out about the credit mix. It's only 10% of your overall credit score. So make sure you don't freak out, like I said. Just a quick recap. I talked about credit score. This whole live stream has been about credit score. And a quick recap on the different categories in the credit score is the fact that there are 5 categories. The first category is payment history, which is 35%. The next category is credit utilization, which is 30%. The next category is average age of credit, which is 15%. The next category is hard inquiries or new accounts, which is 10%. And then the very last category, which is 10%, is credit mix or types of credit. So you definitely want to make sure you download apps like Credit Karma, get involved with NerdWallet. Those two apps are great apps. Now, be sure that you use those apps as tools. Don't let them drag you into, hey, you're going to be approved for this card. Stay focused. Use those apps as a tool and get what you need to get out of it. Like, I have Credit Karma and I log on all the time and they're like, hey, with your credit score, you can get this particular card, or your approval, your odds of approval are excellent. So go ahead and get the American Express Platinum card, even though I really do want that card. It just doesn't make sense. So make sure if you're going to use these tools like Credit Karma or NerdWallet or any other apps or websites out there that provide the different categories that make up your credit score, be sure to be focused, right? Just be patient. And the more time you spend trying to understand the different categories and how to tweak them, the better off your credit score will be. I mean, I can't tell you how in the dark I was about my credit. I had no idea. I mean, I bought a car, didn't really know what the credit score was. I knew it was good because, you know, I wasn't like mucking up my credit. Bought a house. I mean, we're talking about lots of money back in the day. I mean, it's like $300,000 on a house. And that's a pretty decent house in Texas, actually. I'm in Houston. So that's a pretty decent house. I mean, it may not be anything special if I was in, you know, say somewhere like LA. But, you know, so my credit was okay, but I really didn't understand the ins and outs the way that I do now. And so I'm really excited about the fact that I'm able to provide decent content to you guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate you guys subscribing. I appreciate you guys smashing the like button and, you know, helping this channel grow a lot. I'm really excited about it. I wish I started the channel sooner, but, you know, I'm here now. So real quickly, I'm going to kind of open it up here. I've been going for 27 minutes. I'm going to open it up here and kind of try to answer any questions that you guys may have. So shoot me a question and I'll see if I can answer your questions. So yeah, you know, I have the Discover card. I'm just kind of stalling here as you guys kind of type up your questions here. Like I said, I don't know how quickly after you guys hit send, I don't know how quickly it shows up here for me. There probably has to be a delay. That's funny. He says, yeah, what I would get for $350,000 in LA is nothing. Yeah, exactly. I've been to California, man. I actually have been to Alameda, which is close to Oakland. And it was weird. I was there and I was like, is this, you know, like, is this a rich place or not? You know, homes in California. California is dope. Like, hey, what's going on from Dallas, man? Hip to the dip. Totally butchered that. What's going on? But yeah, and so it's weird. Like the homes in California are super expensive. Okay, so I'm going to try to answer some questions here. Yeah, D. Anderson regarding the U.S. Bank Cash Plus card. I like it a lot. Actually, hey, from San Francisco. Actually, that card, believe it or not, is one of the most underrated cashback cards. I use that card for my utilities. And I don't even remember the other one that I get 5% cash back on. I think utilities and cell phone, those two. But I've accumulated so much cash back. What's going on? Lazy 2K4 from the Bronx. I use that card a lot in regards to my utilities and my cell phone. And I'm amazed at how fast I've been able to accumulate a lot of cash back on that card. That card, what's going on, Blue Joker from Indianapolis? That card is actually super underrated. And I've got a pretty decent credit limit. I have a $6,000 credit limit with them. It's kind of funny to me. I don't really make like a whole bunch of money, but my credit limits are pretty high. So that's pretty cool. Wow, $480 in cash. Man, that's cool, man. Good stuff, D. So let me see if I can answer some questions here. If you guys have any questions before I end this live chat. This is my very first live chat. I really appreciate you guys. Go ahead and shoot your questions up there if you have any questions. Right now, I have 50 people watching this. I personally don't know how many thumbs up I have in the live chat, but hey, we have 50 people. Let's see if we can get 50 thumbs up. If you guys appreciate the content, what I've been able to do with the channel, like I said, I appreciate you guys. All right, here we go. So Lazy2K4 says, should I work on raising limits? I'm at 750. You're talking about your credit limit? If you're talking about your credit limit, absolutely, man. I mean, it just depends. Instead of trying to get a credit limit, what you want to do is you want to find out if the credit limit increase or the request is going to be, hey, if I missed any questions, man, just ask them again, because I really am going to have a hard time trying to keep up with that. You know, like I said, this is my first live stream. But instead of, you want to ask, hey, is this going to be a hard inquiry? And if it's going to be a hard inquiry, then you may as well apply for a credit card, because it's the same thing. And quite possibly, you might even get more of a credit limit depending on the type of relationship that you have, you know, with your current bank. Like, I know for me personally, I have 2 Capital One cards, and believe it or not, like Capital One, they kind of max me out at like $7,000 with one of my cards and $3,000 on another card. And so I'm like, man, I just want to get one credit card with the $10,000 credit limit. You know, I don't have one of those yet, and I really want it, because I'm like, come on, man, give me $10,000. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my thought on that. 2 secured cards, build faster FICO. I'm not sure about that. I know for me personally, I did have 2 secured cards. I had the Discover It card, and I had the Citibank secured card. So I think secured cards are cool, and I think having 2 of them is plenty. You don't need more than 2, that's for sure. Okay. Second card after the Capital One Platinum card. What would I recommend for the second card after the Capital One Platinum card? That's a good question. Depending on what you were trying to do, if you're trying to get a cashback card, you should probably consider the Citi Double Cash card, because that's 2%. You get 1% when you purchase and another 1% when you pay it. Or if you want to keep it in the Capital One family, you should consider getting the Capital One Quicksilver card, or you can get the Discover card, because that's 5% cash back in certain categories, and it really kind of builds up faster, to be honest with you. What do I think about store cards like Express? First of all, Jason, I'm an Express fan. I love Express. I think store cards are okay. They have their place. I only have 1 store card. I have a Macy's card. So if you want to do that, that's cool. You know, I guess you'd be working on your credit mix, right? So do you think why my credit score dropped for paying off a loan early? I don't know if it hurt my credit. I'm not sure about that. Last name Patel. I'm not sure why that would happen. But you know, there's so many different factors. I mean, and that's why you need to get the Credit Karma app, so that you can see exactly what's going on, and you know exactly what's going on in each particular part of your credit score. All right, so Michael says, Duane, if you wanted to run only 1 card, what would you choose and why? Wow, good question. I'm gonna just go hands down with the Discover It card for the first year, clearly, right? Because that's a good first year card, because Discover does the cashback match, and I've earned over $1,700 with that particular card. Now, after that, I'd probably go with, if I'm talking about a travel card, as of now, I got the American Express Gold card. So I would go with that one, because that's the one that I'm kind of using the most now in regards to travel. So it really just kind of depends on what I was trying to accomplish. Definitely the Discover card for a first year card. And then I would probably, believe it or not, I would go with the US Cash Bank, the US Bank Cash Plus card, because it accumulates cash back fast the way that I use it, because I use those 2 categories to my benefit. So anyway, let's see here. What is a typical first score going from 0 history? Good question, Joe. Not quite sure. That depends on a lot of different things. What I will say is you can easily go from having no credit at all to having like a high 600, even 700 credit score after the very first year. So it just kind of depends. Okay, cool. Let's see here, guys. I'm sorry, you guys are asking a lot of questions, which is really, really cool. And I'm having the hardest time keeping up. Have you ever considered getting a Capital One Spark business card for maybe your YouTube expenses? Man, I wish. My YouTube expenses. Guys, this is so hilarious. Behind me right now, that gray background is a sheet. It's a bed sheet. It's actually the bed sheet to a twin size bed, and I have it against the wall stretched out. And then the white light behind me, there's like a little bulb behind me right there, like a little lamp. And so it kind of, you know, makes it so that there's no shadow. But I wish, man, I wish. Okay, let's see here. It says, I have the Discover It card secured. When I graduate, how much will my limit be? Denzel, regarding your limit, for me personally, when I graduated, they didn't change my limit at all. But that's definitely not the case for everyone. My overall limit was $2,500. And so I've heard of a lot of people having this secured card from Discover Card and having a $200 initial, deposit. And then when they graduated, they got a $2,000 limit. So not sure how to answer that question, but anything is possible. Let's see. Okay, Joe H says, what is a typical first score? Okay, I already read that one. This is interesting. Is there a limit to how many cards a person should have? No, sir. There's no limit, man. The more cards you have, the better. As a matter of fact, when you download the Credit Karma app, you'll see on there that if you have, I think it's like 20, 21, or I don't remember exactly. I think it's like 21 plus cards. You'd be in the excellent category. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you go out and go get 21 cards. I mean, I personally have 13 cards right now, I think, in one store card, 13 credit cards and one store card. And the only reason why I would get more is because of what that card can offer me. I'm not just going to go ahead and get a card for no reason, just for the sake of having more credit limit. Okay. So you got to, kind of just take that into consideration. 6 cards is a good amount of cards. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Oh, man, thanks, guys. It looks professional, right? That sheet, literally, it's a sheet. I mean, I would stand up and kind of expose it, but, not for the first live stream, maybe another live stream. So anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, if you're watching the video, if this video has been valuable, if the channel has been valuable, go ahead and smash that like button. Let me know that, what we're trying to provide here, which is good quality videos, is helpful to you guys. I started this channel back in March. I started the channel March 11th, but I uploaded my very first video on March 25th. So this is the very first video that I've done live. I've been dragging my feet like crazy. I'm just like, I need to do a live. I need to do a live. I need to do a live. I think I made a video in September when I got 1,000 subs, and I was thanking you guys for having 1,000 subs. And I was like, I'm going to do lives. And in the lives, if you want to support the channel, you could do super chats. And I was all excited about that because I was qualified to be monetized. And by monetized, I mean like the ads that play in the video. Okay, it's not me, it's YouTube, but it's a way for me to make money, right? So I was like, man, I want to get monetized and I want to do these lives, but I didn't get monetized until December the 21st. I submitted my application to be monetized on September the 7th. I met the requirement, and literally like 4 channels that kind of talk about the same thing I talk about got monetized before me, and I was bugging. I was like, man, that's crazy. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this. Hey, I appreciate you guys telling me to do more lives. Josh, I did talk about self-lender. If you're just seeing this, self-lender is okay. I think it's fine. Me personally, I'm used to secured credit cards, but do whatever is best for you. If self-lender is best for you, then do that. As long as you're responsible, it doesn't matter what tool you use, you're going to get the exact same result. So whether it's a secured card or self-lender, you're going to get the same result because you're going to be responsible and take care of your business. Okay, cool. Says, yeah, definitely do more live every now and then. Appreciate that, guys. I had an exciting chat, or thumbs up, super chat, but it wouldn't let me. Oh, cool. Camera talks. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what that's about, but hopefully I'll figure it out if I do more lives and try to get the super chat going. Hey, appreciate you, Credit Card Maestro. Once again, guys, there's 50 people in the chat. If you haven't seen Credit Card Maestro's channel, be sure to go to his channel. Check out his channel. The guy does great video. Walter does great video, good content, and man, I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you're new here, my name is Duane with How to Build Credit TV, and on this channel, we talk about everything you need to know about credit, credit cards, and how to make money using credit cards. So that sounds interesting to you. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys. Peace.